Yo, we're live. Wonder if anybody will join me. This is solely going to be hockey talk tonight. I am currently watching Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, uh, which pins the New York Rangers versus the Carolina Hurricanes against each other. Great game already. There's 9 minutes, 30 seconds left in the first period. Rangers are already up 2-0, though. Both power play goals, I believe. Um, they came out and scored right away in the first period, probably a couple, like, I think 2, 3 minutes in. And then the Canes took a penalty for too many men on the ice, and they capitalized right away. Carolina's currently on the power play right now, but they can't get anything going. So, yeah, we're just going to talk hockey tonight. If anybody's interested, I get it if you're not. But it's Game 7. You all know I'm a huge hockey fan. So, yeah, I thought I would go live because I've been kind of bored all day. I've done a 34. My 34 is done at like 3 o'clock this morning, or 3 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. Sorry about that. I'm so messed up with my days. But I've been doing a 34 at Love's out here in Kentucky, and went to a movie today, and then went and had a really good steak dinner, and now I'm watching Game 7 of the NHL Eastern Conference semifinal. Um, I would really like to see New York win. Um, sorry, they almost scored. I would really like to see New York win. I like the original six hockey teams. If you don't know what the original six are, they were the first six teams to comprise of the NHL. Um, what a play. But yeah, so here we are. We're watching this. I'll say hi to a couple people in here. Kelly's in the house. How we doing, Kelly? Oh, sir. Hey, what's going on? It's too hot outside to be playing hockey. Yeah, it is too hot. How are you doing, by the way, man? I saw you jump in live the other night, and I had to take off. Hope you don't mind. I ran into Oser. Where were we? On the like border of Pennsylvania and Ohio at like 2:30 in the morning one day. It's kind of cool to see him. Uh, wow, what a shot! So yeah, we're just hanging out here watching hockey. It's going to be hockey talk. Yeah, right. What the fuck are we doing here? Yeah, we're going to watch hockey. So turn your TVs on, turn your laptops on. Watch the Eastern Conference semifinals against the Rangers and Canes. Winner of this plays Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa Bay Lightning are, I hate to say it, but they're probably the best team. People definitely can make an argument for Colorado. Colorado's a really good team too. Um, but I will say I would like to see New York win this, and I would like to see Edmonton win the Western Conference. Um, I would love to see the Rangers versus Edmonton in a Stanley Cup match, and I would like to see Edmonton win the Stanley Cup. Doubt it's going to happen. They have a really tough matchup. The Oilers do against Colorado, and whoever wins this game tonight, I mean, it's David versus Goliath. Tampa Bay is a phenomenal hockey team. Um, man, Carolina's putting on the pressure right now, guys. Big time. 5-on-5. Um, I really don't know how to pronounce their goaltender's name. He's got a really weird name. Um, but he stood on his head a couple of times. And if any of you watch the NHL or follow the NHL, I mean, the Rangers shouldn't even be in the position they're in. They went up against Pittsburgh, who had a 3-0 lead on them. It's best out of 7 when you get to the NHL playoffs. And New York came back and won 4 games in a row. I mean, just remarkable. But their goalie played really well the other night, and he's already made a couple of big saves tonight. Um, so, yeah, they went to a commercial break right now, so I'll read some comments. Uh, I got 150 miles. Then the light started, so turned around and brought it back to the shop. Nomadic Brit, I am so sorry to hear that, man. I am so sorry to hear that. That sucks. Hopefully they can figure out what's going on and get it fixed for you and get it fixed for you in a timely manner. Trust me, bro. I get that feeling when you spend money on a truck to get it fixed and then you get back out on the road and that light comes back on or something's not doesn't feel right. It's that sinking like pit in your stomach feeling like, man, now I got to turn around and get back to the shop and you're not really making any revenue. So hope that gets fixed out for you and back on the road quickly. Big Money, what's up, Jerome Jones, man? We're watching hockey today. I understand this isn't everybody's cup of tea, but it's something that I'm really passionate about. I love hockey. I had a great day today, though. I went to a movie theater like 10 miles up the road and went and watched the new Top Gun, and then went out to a place called, forget the name of it, but it was a big steakhouse, and I went and had a steak for dinner. It was super good, super good. Um, the TA in Kingsville, Ohio, I think. Yes, that's exactly where it was, Oster. Barely made it to upstate New York without getting another inspection. Oh, man. Do you take 90, Oster? I mean, I know there's one scale to get to one or two. But New York is a lot like Pennsylvania. They have like all the portable stations, so all the rest areas are or not, yeah, rest areas are also scale houses, which I don't agree with. We should feel comfortable to park in a rest area. I've been at a rest area in Pennsylvania before, sleeping, and gotten woken up by a DOT officer that wanted to do an inspection on my truck. And I was kind of an a-hole to him, said, I can't leave my bunk, sir. I'm sorry. I need 10 hours off. It's federal law. DOT law requires me to have 10 hours off. And by the time I got back up, they didn't stop me. I turned my truck on. I got out and asked them if they wanted to do an inspection, and they let me go, which was kind of nice. But yeah, hopefully you made it there. That was kind of a screwed up deal that you had, Oser. I remember you telling me about that. Going to bed. Hope all is well. Sterling, well, thanks for stopping in, man. Take it easy. Hit the thumbs out on the way out. Should I get my towel off the window? Not too much of a hockey person. What's the protocol? Protocol for hockey or for a towel? Always have a towel on the window. It comes in very handy for everything us truckers need it for, which is well, I'm going to be quiet. No real protocol in hockey. Just turn the TV on and watch it, man, and understand how. So, real quick, the game's changed so much since I played. Equipment, the sticks they use, the skates they have, everything's changed so much since when I played. I quit playing in 2001, so it's been a long time. Oh! You would know why I just said that if you were watching the game. New York almost made it 3-0. But yeah, just watch the game, try and understand, some of the rules. Hockey's a really fun sport. It's really fast, very physical. I'm not comparing it to the NFL because those guys are animals and they're getting hit at high speeds too. But everything in hockey is at high speed. So like, you're getting checked into the boards and just, it's very physical. It's a very physical game. I have a bunch of scars. I've lost both my front teeth. I have scars on my eyes, my eye sockets. I mean, hockey's a very physical game, but it's a lot of fun, and it's hard. It's not as much. It's a lot of technique. Oh, pass it. Oh, sorry. Turn the game on, and you'll see why I'm getting excited. Like I said, I know this isn't everybody's cup of tea, but doing better rates could be tough in the Northeast sometimes. Dude, rates are very tough coming out of there, Ulster. I know that you're kind of a seasoned guy too, like but I don't want to Sorry, I was watching the replay. I don't want to scare anybody. Yeah, rates coming out of the East, man, are tough. We used to get really good rates coming out of Pennsylvania, even upstate New York. It's a lane I like to run a lot, and rates have plummeted. I used to get, I mean, it's down like $2,000 from what I used to get coming back from Pennsylvania to like the Midwest. Um, I don't want to share too much information, but if you're out that area a lot, Oster, maybe drop down to Jersey, man. Um, Jersey rates are still pretty good. The missus says hello. Well, nomadic Brit, tell the missus I said hi too. I should have put a link. God. You know what, guys? Hold on one sec. Let's see if I can do this. See if I can do this. Okay, give me a second here. This is probably really dumb. So on my back, did I do this right? I think I might have pinned a link in the chat. Maybe I did it right. I don't know. But yeah, if somebody wants to come in here, talk hockey, we can try and talk hockey. I'm trying not to think too much about trucking right now, but it is what it is. Had to run with the tandems all the way back. That's what Oster said. Yeah, I remember seeing you do that. You had like some sort of metal or aluminum on, something like that. I remember you showing me that. I got $3 a mile to Missouri, thankfully. Oster, that's really good out of that area. Be happy with that. Don't fall into this trap. That's not a good rate. That's a very good rate coming out of that area, Oster. And hopefully you got like $3 to go in, $3 or $4 to go in. Maybe you got more, but if you can do that, you can be good. You drive a truck that probably pretty fuel efficient. I mean, I saw it. It's aerodynamic. It's a cool looking truck. Yeah, we're talking about hockey. That was another team, man. So Calgary just got beat by the Oilers the other night. They did score a goal that was disallowed. They said the guy kicked it in, which you're not allowed to kick pucks into the net. You are allowed to, like, if you're stopping in the crease and the puck hits your skate and goes in, they count that as a goal. You just can't have a kicking motion. I have been to one live hockey game in my lifetime. Woman took me to the game on a date. I agree. It was very exciting. Fight broke out right in front of us, and the referee caught hell. Yeah, so that happens too. There isn't as much fighting as there used to be in the NHL. They kind of got away from it, which is not necessarily like the best thing. I mean, usually every team had a really big enforcer on it, which that guy wasn't like the greatest hockey player, you know what I mean? But he could fight. And sometimes they would send him out on the ice. He was there to protect your superstars. The Minnesota Wild had one that was really good, Derek Bugard. The guy was an animal. He's since passed away. He had an overdose to a medication he was taking, or a painkiller or something. But if you want, go check out on YouTube Derek Bugard fight. Absolutely insane. He shattered guys' jaws. He broke a guy's eye socket all with one punch. I mean, the guy was a beast. But the NHL kind of got away from fighting because it was getting pretty brutal. These guys were like heavyweight boxers, man. And when I played junior hockey, we took like boxing classes. You know what I mean? You sometimes were told to go out and fight. Well, you take a guy like me, I got beat up. I'm not going to pretend I won because I was never a fighter. But the older I got, I wasn't as good at hockey anymore as I thought I was. And younger guys were better than me. So my role kind of became like, hey, protect the younger guys. I got dropped down to the third line. Um, Sometimes I was a healthy scratch on the night. And I got asked to go out and fight one night. Literally, get off the bench, go fight. And I did. And I think it lasted like 30 seconds, not even 10 seconds. The guy hit me twice. I was done. I'm not ashamed to admit that. But, I mean, you can even see a little bit maybe here, like my knuckles I got into a couple of skirmishes in hockey, like my knuckles, hard to see, but like my knuckles pushed back there, my knuckle right here, if you can see it, got pushed back. Um, yeah, hockey's a fun sport though. If anybody knows hockey or wants to talk hockey, I think I dropped the link. Hopefully I did it right. Feel free to come in. We'll talk hockey. And I'll stay live for a while tonight. I got nothing better to do. Um, Maybe we'll talk trucking a little bit later. Um, New York just seems to be faster to the puck right now, man. Which Carolina, that's kind of what they were known for. They were known for their speed. Every line they have is a very quick line. In New York, the last couple of games I've watched, New York just seems to be a step back. Oh, nice play. New York just seems to be a step quicker to the puck, both in the offensive zone and in their forecheck in the defensive zone. They seem to be a lot quicker to the puck, which helps when you're in hockey. You know, puck control is a big thing in the sport of hockey, kind of like football. You know, in football, the team that usually holds the ball longer, has more plays, usually wins. Um, Hockey's kind of the same thing. If you can control the puck, your all your odds go up, your opportunities, your scoring chances, all those things go up if you can control the puck. Especially in the defensive zone. If you can control the puck in your own end and get a good breakout, you don't give the other team a lot of opportunity to get shots on net. You know, I wish I could enunciate this goalie's name. Imo. It's a really weird name. Good goaltender though. Okay, first period just ended, so we want to talk trucking for 15 minutes or so. We can. Um, I think I shared the other night. I'm on a multi-stop load right now. Multi-stops have been my meal ticket lately. Um, so I just got back out trucking, and I had a death in the family. Not when I say family, not my direct family. It is kind of like a surrogate father to me. It was my mother's best friend. Um, she had known him since like seventh grade or something like that. He passed away the other day, and we have a funeral coming up. So, and my daughter's graduation. So I'm going to do this multi-stop. There's 7 stops on it. Um, 6 or 7. I'm going to get that done, go home, go to my daughter's graduation, and then I have to go to the funeral and probably take a day or two off because it's about 3.5 hours away from where I live in northern Minnesota. So I'll take time off, go home, and you know what? I need to turn the fan on in here. If this gets loud, I'm sorry, guys. But this guy's getting hot in his bunk. Sorry, if it gets loud, I'll turn it off. Barry says, New York players drinking more Red Bull. They hyped up. Yeah, turn it on real quick, man. You'll see they're on it. Now, they're also playing in New York, I believe, which is huge. I'd have to look. I don't remember where they're playing, actually. I do believe they're playing in New York. I had a private high school offer me a scholarship to play their hockey goaltender, despite the fact I can't skate. They didn't think goalies needed to know how to skate. Wrong. Oser, you couldn't be more right about that. Goalies do need to know how to skate, and they need to know how to control the puck. Control the puck. My senior year of high school, we had a goalie that had been with us for quite a while. He was never a starter. And all of a sudden, he took over the starting job in the beginning of the year. He had gone to some really good goaltending camps and training in the off season. And I'll tell you what, this guy, you get him out of the net and you put regular skates on him, he could skate with us. He was a great skater. But then you put the goalie skates on him. For all you that don't know goalie skates, the blades are more flat and they're duller. And it allows the goaltender to like kind of maneuver from side to side. Like they can even use their skates when they're on the ground to move and kick their legs out, things like that. But he could control the puck. And that was a huge benefit for us. And actually, the goaltender for Edmonton, he controls the puck really well. I think he's got like 4 assists already in the playoffs, which means usually they give 2 players assists. The 2 people that touch the puck before a goal is scored. As long as the puck is going in the direction of the guy who scores the goal, you'll get an assist for it. And he's assisted on 4 goals already this playoffs. Or at least he'd be the 3rd assist if they gave out 3 assists. He controls the puck really, really well. Matter of fact, Edmonton uses him for part of their breakout. You know, but yeah, no, it's been kind of a fun day today. I actually did some stuff. I will say I don't really like doing things by myself. Like I went to this really good steakhouse after the movie today. Went and saw Top Gun, the new Top Gun. I'm gonna give it 5 stars. I thought it was better than the first Top Gun. The storyline is great. It kind of picks up right where the old one left off. So yeah, if you like the first Top Gun, you'll really like the new one. And even though I think Tom Cruise is a very weird individual, no doubt the guy just makes blockbuster after blockbuster movies. He is a great actor. And the cool thing about him is the plane. I'm not going to give away too much of the movie. There's no spoilers here. I will say a couple of planes that are used in the movie, he actually flies them. Like he's a pilot and can fly these planes. And that was because he was on a late night show that I watched, and he brought the guy up. Gosh, I forget his name, the European guy. I can't think of his name. Shoot. Funny guy, kind of a bigger, funny guy. But yeah, oh wow. Mark Messier is part of the intermission report, which is awesome. That guy was a beast in hockey, man. Mark Messier. Is high school sticking the hockey evaluation to the oil field handshake? No, grade 8 transportation. And I know what that is now. And no, it's not. High sticking is not an oil field handshake. High sticking, though, is anytime watch the movie Slapshot. But yeah, no. High sticking is anytime your stick comes above your shoulders, or it's used to, like, even if your stick gets lifted up, right? You can be with the puck, and if your stick gets lifted up from a defender and you hit somebody in the face with it, you're getting a high sticking penalty because you're supposed to be in control. Here we go. You're supposed to be in control of your hockey stick at all times. I'm glad Cash isn't in here. He'd be taking cuts of this. Whoa, what a hit. Sorry, I'm just watching the highlights from first period. Good first period, man. Oh no, they're playing in North Carolina. Wow. That's crazy. They're already down 2-0 at home. Usually home teams have a really big advantage.
However, fun fact, if you follow the NHL now, the only games that the Carolina Hurricanes have won is home games. They've lost every road game, uh, which is crazy. And actually, I think that's is that the Eastern Conference? Because I think that's the same with New York. New York hasn't won a home game yet, or won a road game. They've only won home games. No, that's not true. That's not true because they beat Pittsburgh. So goaltender is a right here. The puck is coming up is really hot. Brave. Yeah, goalies are brave. They're also crazy. I have a buddy who was a goaltender. Still, he actually still plays men's league, and they're different. Man, goalies are a weird breed. They really don't like to be bothered before the games. They don't. Some goalies have a certain way they want to warm up. So you warm up and you warm up your goalie before every game. And some goalies only want you to shoot from certain parts of the ice, and they're very weird. Some don't like skate over the lines that are on the ice. They step over them. Goalies they're weird people. I don't mean that rudely. Like, they're just different, man. They're different. Because, yeah, some of these shots are coming at them at, 90 some miles an hour, and they're getting in front of it. Fun story or not fun, scary story is I saw a goalie get his throat slashed by a skate when I was probably like 15, 16 years old. We were playing in a tournament, and I was watching the team before us. I was a dork when I played. I wanted to watch teams because then I knew how to play against them. And back when I was like younger, I was pretty damn good, and I scored a lot of goals. And it was because I would watch teams that I was going to play against and see how their defensemen played. And that way I knew where to kind of go if I was on the ice playing against them. But anyways, I saw a goalie dive for a puck and make a save, and another player came around the corner or came out of the corner thinking there was a rebound, and he ended up trying to leapfrog the goaltender, so he jumped, and when he jumped, he cut the goalie's throat. The goalie lived, but there was blood all over the ice. They drove the ambulance out on the ice. I mean, it was crazy, because I remember playing like probably an hour and a half after that game ended, and there was still a puddle of blood. Now, the ice absorbs the blood. It's not like you're skating through blood. And then they have to shave it down. And that's what a Zamboni does. When a Zamboni goes up and down the ice, it's not only putting water on the ice to refreeze, it's also shaving a little bit of the ice to make it smooth again. Because you'd be surprised how cut up the ice is after a period of hockey. Like, our blades rip that ice apart. But yeah, I saw a goalie get his throat cut. It was pretty gnarly. I'm glad the kid was okay. I remember where it was too. It was in East Bethel, Minnesota, which is kind of north of the city, is about an hour. Yeah, and there was a puddle of, well, like the ice absorbed the blood, and I remember we would skate around, you'd see this puddle of blood on the ice. It was nuts. But say hi to a couple of people. TBT USA is in the house. Hey, good evening, man. Killian's is in the house. What's going on, man? Hey, if you guys see it, I believe I dropped a link in the chat and pinned it to the top. Maybe I didn't. Sorry, I dropped it. Feel free to come on in if you want to talk hockey. Hate to say this, but the Killians are 30 sheets to the wind tonight, grilling some chicken. Good to see you, FA. Oh, man, that'd be fun to talk to you, though. Hope you're having a good Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day. Thank you for anybody that served, whether you're in the military, law enforcement. I know TBT USA is a retired police officer. Thank you for your service, man. Well, you guys do things that keep us safe, and I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody that was in the armed services or works with protecting our communities and people like me. So thank you. I appreciate it. Tim West is in the house. Good evening. Watching hockey here tonight, Tim. Talking hockey. This really isn't that much trucking tonight. Just hanging out. Turn the game on. If you're in this live and you're at home, turn the game on. We can bullshit about the game. I wish I knew more of these players. The reality is, probably about 2 years ago, I kind of quit watching a lot of hockey, just because life became really busy. I used to go to quite a few Wild games a season, and I haven't been to a game in probably 2 years. Probably two seasons I haven't been to a game. Well, 3, because they didn't allow in the 2020 season. We couldn't go. There was no fans. Sean Fairman, you're not late, man. We're just talking hockey here today, bro. Not really talking trucking. We can during intermissions like this. But I don't know if I have any good insight on trucking, really, to be honest with you. Well, Killian's, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thank you. Killian's is a good dude. Him and I got to meet up with him and his wife one day. Went out to dinner with them. Really nice people. Good people, hardworking people. We need more people like that. Yeah, so anyways, like I was saying, I don't know if I have much answers to trucking. I've kind of got the impression that I operate my business quite a bit different than a lot of other people. So sometimes I don't like saying things about trucking because I don't want people to get offended by what I say or whatever. Man, I need to watch some baseball too. I haven't watched any baseball in a while. That's right. I just see it underneath here. The Guardians beat the Royals 7-3. I forgot. The Guardians are Cleveland, right? They changed their name from the Cleveland Indians to the Cleveland Guardians. Is that right? I think that's right. But anyways. Oh, Sean, thank you, man. Yeah, the daughter's graduating high school. I'm very, very proud of her. I I push both my wife and we push education in our family. My wife has a degree in psychology. I don't have a degree. I wouldn't be sitting in the bunk of my truck if I had a degree. Well, maybe I would, because I like trucking. But I don't have a degree. And you know what? I pissed away school. I was an athlete and I got away with a lot of stuff because I was fairly good at a sport. I never really applied myself hard, and I always thought I need to get out of school and move on. Like, school was not something I ever took serious. So I really forced my daughters to work hard in school and try their best. And I believe if kids do the bare minimum in school with the current climate that school is, if you do the bare minimum, which is like your homework, you're going to get a, you know what I mean? It's almost like you don't have to even work to be average. And I don't mean to be mean to anybody, but I push my daughters very hard in education. And my oldest is graduating with honors. She's already achieved a bunch of college credits. She attends a university while she's in high school, University of Minnesota. And that's where she's going to college too, but she's not going to the Twin Cities campus. She's going to the campus in northern Minnesota. So, I'm proud of her. She's done good. So is my younger one. My younger one, school doesn't come as natural to her as it did to my oldest, but I know she tries hard, and that's all I want. And I want them to, like, it might be a flawed way of thinking, especially with everything going on in the world right now, but I always thought that if I would have applied myself in education a little bit more, I might not have had to struggle as hard as I did to get to where I am today in life. Uh, and when I say education, I'm not saying you even need to go to college. I told them to like learn a trade, do something outside of high school to set yourself apart a little bit. You know, um, I remember when I was kind of getting in trouble in school. I think I've shared this before. I thought I was going to go to school to play hockey. Like I thought I was going to go to college, a small college, and play hockey. I was good enough to do that. And I remember when I started like not doing really well in school because hockey was over. My mom and dad were like, "Hey, you should go to like Wyotech and become a diesel mechanic," or like they started pushing, um, trade schools and stuff on me, and I ended up taking a job and becoming a truck driver, which my dad thought by me taking the job that he offered me, it was gonna like push me to get an education, and it completely backfired on him. You know, wow. So what'd that say? I thought it was a little bit more dominating. Shots on goal for first period, Rangers had 18. The Hurricanes had 31. Big difference, though. Kind of like penalties in football. If you can avoid taking penalties, you'll usually win the game. Power plays for the first period. Rangers had 2, and they scored on both of them. The Hurricanes also had 2 penalty power plays, but they didn't score on any of them. So yeah, that's a big statistic. 18 shots, 2 goals. Average in hockey, like we were always taught, for every 10th shot you take on net, it should equal 1 goal. Well, you know, that kind of law of average is playing out here. They had 18 shots on net, 2 goals, you know. Started the second period just started. All right, get to a couple of these. I left school at 15 and have been working my entire life for 4 years, never been out of work. Yeah, nomadic. I've never been, well, that's not true. I got laid off from a job. Insult, what's going on, man? How are you? Get that sailboat going yet? Um, Nomadic Brit saying hi to Sean. Oh, Sean, you work for Schneider too? You do what Nomadic does? Do you run tankers for Schneider? So yeah, you're gonna see me watching a lot of hockey right now. Sorry about that. Not yet, huh, Insult? If I remember, Insult, you're how do I say this? You said you want to go to Hawaii and then Fiji. Aren't you from like? Are you from like Indonesia or something? You're. If I remember right, you said you were from somewhere else, or you at least lived there for a while. Do I have that right? If you're still in here, um, Stanley Cup playoff history: teams leading by multiple. Oh shoot! I want to wait. I like stats. Oh, and I just did it too far. I rewound, and now I make it. Let's see what this stat says. Oh, we'll get to it. I like statistics. I like stats, and they put a stat up on the board. Okay, teams leading by multiple goals in Game 7 are 124 to 13. They have a .905 winning percentage. So that's 90% winning percentage when they're up by multiple goals. Wow, in Game 7. That looks good for the Rangers, and I would like to see the Rangers win. Um, okay, yeah, that's what I thought it was. You're from Texas but lived in Cambodia for 3 years. What are the options for the top 3 mega carriers? What? Hold on. TBT USA says what are the options of the top three mega carriers are. Our top three worst, just curious. So I have never worked for a mega carrier. Um, the reason I've never worked for a mega carrier is when I lost my job, when I got laid off back in like 2008, 2009, I had 9 years of driving experience. When I looked at mega carriers back then, what they wanted to pay me with the experience I had was not anywhere close to what I was making. And I chose to stay local. Well, that's not true. I chose to move within the same company that I was laid off from. They opened a store in North Dakota, right in the oil field area, and like Stanley and Minot and Williston. Um, they opened a store kind of in the middle of all that, and they offered me a job, but I would have to move out there. And it was non-union. It was different than it was set up different than the company that I had been laid off from, even though it was the same company. So I chose to move out to North Dakota. Um, I'll be honest. I've talked to a lot of prime drivers. I've shown them my settlements, and I've seen settlements of prime drivers. Um, Depending on what you need to live on and what you might be doing for a job right now. I know you're retired, but this is just for normal people. It was said to me once. I had made a comment that prime drivers, like, I don't understand why they're doing it. And somebody said to me, "Hey, man, what if they're working on a dock for $10, $12 an hour, and now they're making, $2,000 a week? Like, that's a win for them." And it is, you know. Um, I have never really experienced anything from mega carriers, or for me to like say anything about Schneider, Swift. I mean, Swift gets a lot of crap, right? We think they're crappy drivers and stuff like that. Swift's like safety ratings actually pretty damn high. They just have so many trucks. Swift and Knight have so many trucks on the road that average, if we see something like we think they're all bad drivers. They have multi-million mile safe drivers on their payroll. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, for me to say anything real bad about a mega carrier isn't a good thing. And matter of fact, Nomadic Brit's in here. He works. Well, he's an independent contractor for a mega carrier, and he does well. You know. Okay, Nomadic Brit answered this. He said, "Schneider is the only company I've worked for here in the U.S., and they have been good to me, and I have been good to them. Business is a two-way street." Fully agree with that. Been with Schneider for 7 years. Oh, DIY semi stopped in the house. Hockey? Ooh, yeah. Get back to drinking your Diet Sprite there, buddy. We're watching hockey tonight. After eating a steak dinner and going and seeing the movie Top Gun. Um, we're watching hockey game 7 tonight. That's so cool. These guys are so damn talented, it's ridiculous. There's a tripping. That should be a penalty. Tripping. Yep. New York's going back on the power play, guys. If you remember the stat from the end of period 1, they were 2 for 2 on the power play. So here's their third power play. Let's see if they can be 3 for 3. Just like football, if you don't get a lot of penalties, you usually win the game. Same thing goes for in hockey, because now it's going to be 5-on-4 for 2 minutes, and that puts New York at a great advantage, especially up by 2 goals. Or DIY saying howdy to everybody. How you doing tonight, DIY? How's how's the freight market looking on the well, today it probably sucked. Knowing you probably had all your contractors already booked out, which is smart. Did anybody, I guess we don't need to talk business. But that's another thing. Let's talk about that real quick. how fortunate I feel about being leased onto a carrier, especially in this time in the market that we're kind of in and everything. Having somebody find loads for you and you don't have to spend time on the load board, man, that's here we go. Uh, Definitely a plus for me. I feel very fortunate. So, probably about 30 seconds ago, if you guys turn the game on, the New York goalie did an outlet pass from from his crease basically that started the breakout for New York, and New York had a great scoring chance because of that. So, like Oser had said earlier, the goalie needs to know how to skate, needs to know how to handle a puck. But, anyways, people saying hi to DIY. I know this is boring, and I'm sorry, guys, but this is what I'm going to do because I'm bored, and I thought I'd hang out with people while I watch hockey. I almost forgot it was on. Uh, and I thought that I needed to get a TV in here. I have my laptop, and that's what I'm watching it on is my laptop. And if I had a TV, I would mount it over here. So if you see this, this is a shelf, right? I don't have cabinets in this truck. I have shelving that run across each side of the bunk. And then I have another cabinet for clothes. And then right here, this is where my microwave's right here. And underneath this is my fridge. It's like a little desk. Um, but if I got a TV, I would mount it like right here on the other side, which means I'd have to be laying down right now to watch TV. Uh, I don't want to lay down. I like to sit up. I would love to build a custom sleeper. If this truck, like if I ever have to, if I want to save money and stuff like that, see how much getting some custom work done to the truck instead of buying a new truck. Like, I'd like to have a couch or something I could sit on. I don't know how I do that in here, but I'm sure somebody could create something. Um, yeah, T-Bone. That was a sad story. If you guys don't know, T-Bone's a fellow truck driver. I really don't know him. I mean, at all. Don't know if he has a YouTube channel or not, but his daughter passed away the other day. And they did like a fundraiser for him to help with funeral costs and things like that. Very sad story. Um, but yeah, yeah, right. TBT USA. If people thought it was boring, they'd log off. Yeah, and I don't mind. I mean, if people want to get off and then come back later and we're talking, during intermissions, we can talk about trucking or something, Like I said, my experience so far being an owner operator has been like trying, I guess is the best way to explain it. Obviously, like a year ago, things were fantastic. Up till about 4 months ago, things were just I never thought I was going to take a loss. You know what I mean? And I know that sounds dumb and naive, but it's the truth. Everything was just perfect. And then I had a couple of breakdowns, and those couple of breakdowns led to very expensive bills and a lot of downtime and a lot of questioning. Is this the right thing that I should be doing? I'm glad that I have people in my corner, including my wife and my kids, but mainly my two mentors, DIY Semi and Cash is King, that kind of talked me through it, and a couple other people on YouTube, that I don't know personally, but they'll comment. One of them's in here right now, Vic Met. If you guys don't know, Vic Met's got a channel. I'll read a couple of comments here. Uh, Vic Met, I'm watching a hockey game. I'm watching the New York Rangers versus Carolina Hurricanes. Um, it's Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semifinal. So whoever wins this game plays the Tampa Bay Lightning. Um, the Western Conference Finals have already been determined. It's the Edmonton Oilers versus the Colorado Avalanche. Um, and I would say the favorites to play for the Stanley Cup is Colorado and Tampa Bay, with Tampa Bay probably being the favorite to win the cup. I would love to see the New York Rangers and the Edmonton Oilers play for the cup. But yeah, that's what we're doing. I'll read a couple of these comments here real quick. Sean says, you almost have a new truck now after all the fixing. Yeah, at least almost, well, basically a kind of a rebuilt transmission. And you know what? I think I shared on a live. My first year of maintenance was like $14,000, something like that. It was so low. Um, and the stuff that's gone wrong with the truck is all things that are going to go wrong with a truck. You know what I mean? Like they're not big. They shouldn't have turned out to be big expenses. Um, the deal that I went through in Virginia for an after treatment issue, in my opinion, could have been solved with a seventh injector because that's what they replaced, and everything went back to normal. They didn't need to put in all the gaskets and everything that they did. I think they took advantage of me. And then what I just went through, half the struggle was the shop's fault. You know what I mean? Nothing that the truck did or that I did. Ulcer says, never turn the TV in my truck on once. Watching TV is a luxury. Yes, it is a luxury. And you know what? I think if I had a TV, I might not sleep as well. I sleep really well in my truck most nights. And I think sometimes I would fall asleep with the TV on or something. Already said hi to Vic Med. Hey, keep it PG. Getting off is one of we'll keep it PG. Vic Med says next month we should be up. Sorry, next month we should be up and going with the freight. Oh, I sure hope so. You would know, or at least probably know better than somebody like me since you do a lot of port work. I hope volumes pick up. That's what scares me more than anything is just the drop off in volume, man, and how fast it was. And when I think of like a lot of things I haul out of the Minnesota area, they killed a lot of chickens, they killed turkeys. That's a lot of freight I used to haul out of that area. And I don't have the opportunity to do that right now. But yeah, I hope the freight market bounces back, at least volumes. I operate at a low operating costs and everything, so I have faith in my dispatcher or DIY to find loads that make sense for me and the company. Strange thing though, I doubt he's in here anymore because we're talking about hockey. I don't say no to a lot of stuff because when I get asked about a load, right? If it's out of the lanes that I typically run, I think about it for a second, and I usually get a call when I'm driving, and I can figure out in my head, okay, like it's paying this much. I get 80% of that because I'm leased on to an 80/20 carrier, and this is what my rate would be. And like I said, I operate at a low operating cost. So like if I'm making $1, or if I'm making money on the load, I'll take the load. But I actually had to say no a couple of times last week, which is a little abnormal. And I get that we were just trying to get me to a better market, but I'm glad I said no because I hit a home run the next day by saying no. I think it was like 7.25 a mile. Didn't go very far, but it got me to a great another load. So yeah, that power play is over. And actually, the Hurricanes' penalty kill was fabulous. They had more scoring chances than New York did. being a man down. Jordan Stahl, man, that dude's still playing. Jordan Stahl is a good hockey player, but I believe he's played for Carolina, Pittsburgh, New York, and now he's with the Canes. Can't believe he's still playing. Good hockey player. Big centerman. Oh, here they come. Anyways. Hey, if you have a channel that doesn't talk about hockey, post it. LOL. Always looking for content or insight. Yeah. I have a channel. Come on, TBT. I have a channel. I don't know really what direction I'm taking the channel, to be honest with you. I'm just I do enjoy doing YouTube. I enjoy doing like videos of my day. Um, kind of like what Sterling said in a live with DIY. My kids watch it now and then, or my mom and dad stumble across it and watch it. And I like to kind of show them what I'm doing. But I know it's never going to grow that way. Just because there's so many big YouTube channels that already do that I would just be another one in a big sea of people that are probably more interesting than me, to be honest with you. And maybe have a little bit more time to edit and do things than I do. But I'm thinking about just doing more like stuff like this. Talking about what I enjoy. Do more filming when I'm at home, like fishing and the things I don't fish like I used to. But I've kind of been thinking I want to do a little bit of an outdoors channel. I do cook in my truck. I'm not 18-wheel chef like Kelly, but I do cook in my truck. So I thought maybe doing like some videos showing you guys how to make good meals with like a 12-volt lunchbox cooker or even a butane cooktop like Cash is King has got. Because I watch those things to get ideas for food. It's really easy to like let yourself go out here on the road. I'm glad I didn't do that tonight. I went and had a steak dinner with steamed broccoli. Pretty proud of myself for that. Vic Med, I don't have your confidence. I still think the country is slowing down. Yeah, I've heard both sides of that argument. Nomadic, both sides, and I don't know how I think. I'm the type of guy that just kind of rolls with the punches, dude. Like I am not educated enough to make a good assumption. I just go off of what I see, and what I see is volumes way down. And to be honest, like what I haul is food. So like if volumes drop down even more, like we're all screwed. Like if volumes continue to plummet in what I do, we're all screwed. TBT USA says, how long were you a company driver prior to jumping into owner operator? I understand now it's not a good time to make the jump, but must say wait a couple of years first. Agree. I was a company guy for a long time. I've been in the industry for 22 years. I've been an owner operator for 16, 17 months of those. Depends what you want to do. If you're talking about learning trucking, now, is there anything wrong with going and getting your CDL and becoming an owner operator right away? No, people do it. There's people that are on YouTube that have been successful doing it. I think your success rate drops though if you do that. I think if you want to become an owner operator, you should find a company that is, like Cash is King has said, kind of close to your house. Make sure you're gonna, if you're going over the road, what they require you to do, and get some experience. Get a couple of years experience. Have your screw ups be on somebody else's dime, and then become an owner operator. And I don't know if there's ever a good time to become an owner operator. I chose to become an owner operator not because of rates or anything. It was something that I planned for 4 or 5 years. And then the how I became an owner operator, just it all kind of, I don't want to say fell in my lap, but it did. And I owe a lot of that to DIY Semi, to be honest with you. He helped me find the truck I'm in when I was about to purchase another truck. He, you know, he gave me a chance when I had never been an owner operator. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know what the right thing. I don't know if there's ever a right or wrong time. You see the fuel prices. You know, there's parts of the country that are almost $7 a gallon, and rates are still good. Don't let somebody tell you rates are like so horrible. Rates are still good historically. They're just not at the level that they should be at with what your costs, your one of your biggest variable costs is fuel. And the fuel costs are crazy per mile right now. I mean, mine are up way more than they were last year. Um, at least what I usually try and average. Sorry, the Canes are putting on a big push right now. They got out of this all. Who is in favor of a channel name change here? DIY, stop that. It's not going to be mac and cheese or some crazy thing that you and Cash come up with. Um, oh, it just jumped on me. Here we go. Grade A Transportation says, DIY, are you thinking Mac Daddy Trucking? No. Maybe I should change my name. No, might not be a bad idea. Big Mac Trucking. Oh, I like that. That's actually pretty good. Mac and Cheese Trucking. At Fade. So it's DIY's fault. I hear you. No. Hey, man, I haven't hidden behind some cloak. Um, DIY is instrumental in. Here's the thing. You asked the question about becoming an owner operator. Is it good waiting a year? DIY, if you're still in here, let's have a conversation. Um, when I became an owner operator, I knew how to operate a truck. I knew how to operate a reefer. I knew how to drive the damn thing. You know what I mean? Like, I cut my learning curve not even in half. Like, I cut it to almost, there was things I still learn every day, but my learning curve was super small. And I had already prepared myself for a few years to like start thinking as a business owner when I was a company driver. We had trucks that we could go as fast as we wanted in them. And I started driving for a year. I started driving that thing no faster than 65 miles an hour to see if I could see a difference in my fuel costs per month. I started doing things like that before I really decided, hey, let's make the jump. And then when I made the jump, DIY was there to make the transition a lot easier for me. And to be honest with you, so did Cash's King. These guys are smart individuals. They're successful business owners, and success isn't always based on what type of car you drive, how much jewelry you have. Success is based on like you wake up one morning and decide, I'm going to grow a fleet. I'm going to become a carrier. I'm going to do steps to like give back my knowledge to people. In my mind, that's success. And you know what? That's what DIY did. And I believe, I mean, I still talk to DIY a lot about business strategies and things like that. So, like, find yourself somebody that is business savvy and smart and maybe knows the industry. And oh no, Hurricane's goalie's hurt. Uh-oh. Looks like it's a groin. Uh-oh. That's going to be devastating. But anyways, get back to a couple of these. Cheesy Mac Trucking. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, grade 8. That's great. DIY likes it. Killian says, Fate, we're too much alike. Are we alike, man? I'm sitting in the truck. You get to be at home grilling, eating good food, and hanging out with your wife. No, I'm kidding, man. You're a good dude. I really enjoyed meeting you and your wife. This is a big turning point in this game, guys. Turn the game on real quick. The Carolina goalie just got hurt. And the way he was laying on the ice, it looks like he might have pulled his groin or his knee because he can't. The way he's got his leg turned, and the other one's moving, and the other one's not. And those things are super painful in hockey. I never had a groin. People are going to make fun of me. I never had a groin injury in hockey, but I did have a hamstring injury. And I'll tell you what, it took about 2.5 months to heal to where I could push off and feel comfortable on my edges and things like that. Anytime you deal with a groin or a hamstring or a knee in hockey, it's hard. Like, it's a very painful. Lower body injuries are, yeah, they're taking them off the ice. Oh no. They're showing the replay here. He came across his crease. Oh yeah, it's a groin. It's definitely a groin. Ow. Hopefully it's not his knee. If it's his knee, that could be career ending. He kind of jumped across his crease and kicked his leg out. How he came down on it, that might be a knee. That could be a knee. Ouch. Yeah, anyways, still 2-0. There's 4:20 left in the second period. Well, it's probably a little bit less than that because I rewound it 20 seconds. New York's still up 2-0 though. And now they got their backup goalie in. Oh my goodness! This guy just came across the crease from the Rangers' wide open net. Had the goalie going to one side, he went to the other side and he missed the net. Wide open net. I did that once. I was on a breakaway with an empty net. They had pulled their goalie, and I was being a hot dog. They just scored. That's actually good. I just feel bad for the backup goalie. New York's up 3-0 now. But I came down on a breakaway. I took the puck at center ice, and I came down on a breakaway with an empty net. Like, all you got to do is, like, flip the puck, and you got a goal. I mean, if you have an empty net, you're already winning the game, but I shot it over the net because I was trying to show off. I thought, I'll hit the corner here, and I rifled the shot and it went over the net. Everybody on the bench was laughing at me. What a shot. He went weak side over the goalie's blocker. Wow, what a shot. Bad angle. Wow, great shot. Anyways, I don't know if that answered any of your questions earlier, TBT USA. I don't know if there's ever like a right time to get into trucking. You know, or becoming an owner operator. I don't know if there's ever like a right time. Because you're gonna, no matter, even if rates are great, like there's a lot of things that are out of your control, man. You can go bankrupt even when rates are great. You can go bankrupt when rates aren't. It all depends on how you operate your business. You know, I gotta unplug my phone here, plug my hotspot in for a little bit, let that charge. I'll watch my phone here because it might die. Is that plugged in? Oh my god, dude. I didn't even have this thing plugged in. Okay. Yeah, so we got 3:14 left in the second period. New York's up 3-0. I'd like to see New York win this. It's game 7, so it's do or die for both teams. Oh, so you might hear the term in hockey, giving up your body. Uh, insert joke here, DIY. This guy just dove in front of a slap shot. Looked like it hit him in the face, but didn't hit him in the shoulder. Um, that shows dedication. That shows, hey, we want to win this game. Anytime you got forwards jumping in front of pucks, that you as a coach, that's what you want to see. You want to see your team protecting their defensive zone. You know, move the puck, guys. Anyways, um, yeah, I don't know. Is that link up there for the 8 people that are in here? Maybe I'll try and drop it again if somebody's interested in hockey and wants to talk hockey. There's Nino Niederreiter. He used to play for the Wild. Rob Brendan. I like seeing this too. I've noticed there's like Andrew Brunette is an ex NHL player. He's coaching the Colorado Avalanche, and they're probably 1B, with Tampa Bay being the best team in the NHL. But Andrew Brunette used to play for the Wild too. Actually, matter of fact, he scored one of the biggest goals in Wild history in Game 7 of, I think it was the first round of, like, I don't know, it may have been like 2001. The Wild had they made it to the Western Conference Finals, and he scored a goal in Game 7 against the Avalanche in like triple overtime. It was one of the biggest goals in Wild history. Nomadic Brits wondering what part Killian's lives in Georgia. I'll let him answer that. I kind of know where he lives, but I'll let him answer that if he's still in here. Oh, this is an old game. But Frederick Anderson is their backup goalie. Now, just so you guys are aware, both teams only carry 2 goalies. At this game tonight, they have what is called an emergency goaltender, and he can play for either team. And usually usually it's a guy that like has never played in the NHL. He might be like 40 some years old. They have like hockey experience, but if you go on YouTube, you can watch a couple of these guys. One of them filled in Chicago, played for the Blackhawks a couple of years ago. Another one in like Tampa Bay. And they come in and they can play for any team. They usually, they're in North Carolina or Carolinas right now. So this guy's from Carolina, and he goes to all their games, and he's the emergency backup goalie. So if either team loses both their goalies, he can play goalie. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Right now, Carolina's down to their last goaltender. If he gets injured, it's an emergency goalie. So get to a couple of these comments. Okay, yeah, he answered your nomadic. Dalton, Georgia. Minutes south of Chattanooga. Dude, you live where I want to live, Killian. I talk about that area all the time. I like mountains. I like mountains and like woods, and over in the Chattanooga area, northern Georgia, and then you got part of Alabama over there too. It's really hilly and woods, and I like that. And I know you got good fishing in Georgia, bass fishing. So maybe I quit trucking and devote my whole life to YouTube outdoors. I know guys that have done that. I take that back. I've met guys that have done that. I don't know them personally. There's a guy right now. His name's Mav. He's got a YouTube channel. He's from my hometown. Younger guy. He's in his early 20s, well, mid 20s. Um, he's got a YouTube channel. He lives in his truck. Well, he's got a bunch of like vehicles he can live in, but that's what he does. He drives his truck and stays in his truck and fishes and goes all over the place. Last year he drove into Mexico and stayed in Mexico for like 2 months and Baja, California. So there's 15 seconds left in the second period. Carolina's breaking out of their zone right now with a lot of speed. Oh, New York just stuffed them. Second period's coming to an end. All right, we can talk trucking or whatever for the 9 people that are in here. DIY, that is a great comment. You ask, what if emergency goalie gets hurt? Then you're screwed. Then you play with 6 guys on the ice. You don't have a goalie. Matter of fact, I played in a game that happened. Granted, I was young. I was a peewee, which means I was probably like 14 years old. We only had 1 goalie on that team, and he got injured. And we were in a tournament, and we were playing the second best team in the metro area at the time, which was White Bear Lake. And we were in the championship game, and he got hurt. We played the entire third period without a goalie, and we ended up winning the game, which was absolutely ridiculous. Still goes down as probably one of the top 5, maybe top 6 wins I ever experienced playing hockey. Because we did it with no goalie. You know what I mean? He ended up getting injured. His name was Craig. I'll never forget it. He got injured, and we played the rest of the entire third period without a goalie against White Bear Lake. And White Bear Lake was a really big competitor of ours. Like, they were a big rival. Anyways, get to a couple of these. Emergency goalie gets called in. TBT USA says, yeah, that's not going to happen. You're going to play with 6 guys. You're going to play with no goalie, which is in the NHL, might as well just forfeit. We should have a restaurant instead of trucking. We got to meet up for a cookout. Yeah, that'd be fun, Killian. Maybe we'll come down there or come to Minnesota in the summertime. We'll go get a cabin up in northern Minnesota. It's fun time. Do some fishing and grilling. I'm going to say no to owning a restaurant because, man, I'm not a good cook. I don't know food. Oh, you can't wait to meet DIY, huh? Power play, baby. That's old. What did I miss? What if the pitcher gets hurt? DIY. We keep this. I don't know. Pitchers aren't in hockey. Pitchers are not in hockey. Catcher takes over. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna fast forward because Gus just said power play. Unless I'm that far behind. Says I'm live, right? Jump to live. There we go. You're live. Okay. Getting kind of, hold on a sec. Getting kind of hot in here. I turned the APU off. I cooled the truck off a lot and then shut the APU off and just got the fans going, but I'm starting to get a little warm. And if I turn the APU on, it kind of rattles. DIY, how would you know? How would you know? DIY says, don't go fishing with Faye. Trust me. You'll thank me later. I've invited you fishing, man. And here's what you always told me. I'm too busy. I'm too busy. Yeah, okay. The other night you came on a live and you didn't look busy. Oh, Gus FC says, just saying power play in hockey is pretty cool. Yeah, power plays are awesome. Um, if you like hockey, the best part of hockey is 4-on-4. A lot of speed, the ice opens up. 4-on-4 hockey is the best type of hockey. Um, you see a lot of skill on 4-on-4 hockey. Um, you can't play the trap. The NHL, like you'll notice right now if you're watching this game at all, the Rangers are basically going to set a trap. And what I mean by that is they're going to do their very best not to let the puck with somebody controlling it cross even the neutral zone, which is the red line. What you're probably going to see here in the third period is a lot of dump and chase. So Carolina is going to get the puck over the red line and just dump it into the Ranger zone and then forecheck the hell out of the puck. And you can play a trap game where you keep, instead of having your forwards really forecheck the puck, they're going to stay back and kind of be another set of defensemen. And they try and neutralize center ice. The NHL is kind of notorious for that. Okay, here we go. I missed a bunch. I'm just saying. It's like a gay or DIY. No, don't do anything. Yeah, it's not DIY. It's a lot of fun, man. I got some videos of fishing, and it's certainly not what you were saying. Yeah, TBT says, who's F8? I thought we were talking to Big Mac tonight. Got us a mansion, 5-bedroom cabin in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Dude, that'd be fun. I'll go do that, Killians, for sure. DIY. What is it that F8 actually goes fishing for? I go fishing for walleyes and northerns. Come on now. Well, that's not true. I go fishing. I like all fish. I like going pan fishing sometimes, which are crappies and there's sunfish. I'm not like a bass fisherman. I love fishing for walleyes though, and I like northern too. So I'll fish for northern a lot too. But I fish for everything. Hot tubs on every floor. Dude, why does DIY have to come, Killian? He's gonna bring down the mood. Like, I gotta go to bed, I'm tired. I gotta find loads. You don't want DIY there. All you're gonna hear is how ridiculous trucking is and you got any diet squirt? Yeah, the Bruins got knocked out. I'm not a fan of the Bruins, even though I used to be a fan of them. I'm not as much anymore. They're a good hockey team. Uh, I just like the NHL playoffs. I I'm not fortunate enough to live in a state that our team goes all the time. So when the Wild made it, I thought like the Wild had a really, really good team this year. We absolutely have a superstar in Kirill Kaprizov. Um, and I thought we were set up to make a run. My opinion, Fleury, who's a goalie, Marc-Andre Fleury, arguably one of the best goalies to ever play the game. We got him at the trade deadline, and you know what? He's not what he once was. And then you watch like Edmonton, and they or not Edmonton, Calgary, and they have our old goalie. You know what I mean? And he was playing lights out. Anyways, we're in the second intermission now. Really, a game that I think is kind of already settled. New York's winning 3-0. This series though has had a lot of high scoring games, and so did the Calgary Flames and Edmonton Oilers. They were scoring like 9-10 goals a game. This series has had a lot of scoring too, but from what I've seen in the first two periods, New York just looks faster to the puck, stronger using their bodies. DIY is no joke there. And Carolina's playing with their backup goaltender. Now, a backup goaltender in the NHL is still a good goalie, but when you're down 3-0 with a cold goaltender, that guy didn't prepare tonight to play, so he's cold. I think New York is probably going to win. I'm going to say 5-0. I think New York's going to score 2 more goals, and one's going to be an empty net goal. They're going to win 5-0. But yeah, let me know if this gets loud. I'm going to turn my fan on here. If that's too loud, I'll turn it off. But it's getting hot here, and I don't want to turn my APU on because you guys, trust me, it's not a good idea. That's one thing. I had an electric APU before I got this Reman tri-pack, Thermo King tri-pack. Now, it didn't really cool the truck down all that much. What you'd have to do is have the truck run, cool down the bunk, cool down the front, and then you'd flip the APU on. And it was like your air conditioner, like when you recycle your air conditioner, except eventually the air would get warm. But the one thing I did like about that APU is it was quiet, or EPU is it was quiet. You didn't hear it at all. This one I hear. I mean, it's mounted right on my frame rail, but it's loud. You hear the vibration. But I do have my reefer running too, so that's expensive, man. I've had my reefer running at -10 for since Friday. I filled it up yesterday for $150. Took like 28 gallons of fuel, something like that. And I just checked it before like I said, I took the truck and went to a movie and out to dinner. When I came back, I checked the level of the reefer, because right now I don't even want it to really get to a quarter of a tank. But we're still good. I'll have to fill it up before I leave in the morning. But DIY, if you're still in here, somebody's asking for your email. Oh, what do you guys want to talk about for a couple minutes? Still a couple minutes left in this intermission. What time is it? 10? What time is it? It's already 10 o'clock at night. Tired. I got a busy day tomorrow. I got a delivery in the morning, and then I deliver at 7 in the morning. Then I go from Louisville, Kentucky to Chicago, south side of Chicago. And I have a delivery there tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at night. I'm going to show up early. Maybe I can get unloaded early. It's going to be about, I don't know, 5.5 hour drive after I make my delivery in the morning. And then after I make that delivery in Chicago, I'm going to drive to my next delivery, which is the next morning at 6 in the morning, because I can park there overnight. Trying to find parking in Chicago is nearly impossible unless you want to sleep on I've stayed on the shoulder of the road over by the old stockyards, and it's not a very good place. So I'm going to drive to my third stop and stay there overnight. But it'll be a long day tomorrow. I'm going to have to find time to nap. Yeah, it was a pretty good day today for me. I did my laundry. I went to a movie. I went and had a good steak dinner. Insult says, you pick something? Did I miss what I was picking at? I don't know. TBT USA says, see, that's loud. Got a feeling that's loud. TBT USA says, so is everyone here solo drivers, or does anyone have any team driving experience? Curious on the differences. I have never been a team driver. I know people that are team drivers and we're team drivers, but I don't have any experience in team driving. I know it's something that I could never do. There's a YouTube channel where a husband and wife do it. Well, there's a few of them, but one that's kind of bigger channel, Nevada Trucking and Trails. Him and his wife are team drivers. That'd be the only way I would want to be a team driver, is if it was with like my wife. I certainly couldn't do it with anybody else. Insult Investor says, in California, trucks park on freeway entrances, ramp side shoulders. Yeah, that happens kind of through the country, but you gotta be careful where you're doing that too. There's a lot of states out here that will give you a ticket. I've seen it happen. Pennsylvania, Virginia, even parts of Ohio. If a cop sees you parked on an exit ramp or on ramp, off ramp, or on the shoulder, they'll write you a ticket, which is ridiculous in my mind. There isn't enough truck parking in this. The infrastructure isn't there for all the trucks that are on the road. We shouldn't be penalized because we're following rules, you know. Something to talk about. Yeah, there you go. Truck parking. I find that hard a lot because the shift, I do a lot of driving at night, or I have deliveries late at night that get done, at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Good luck finding a spot to park at that time. You know what I mean? And a lot of, I would say it's 75% to 25%. 25% of shippers and receivers will allow you to sleep on their property. 75% won't. So you got to be kind of sneaky sometimes and get yourself a split sleeper in or something like that. What I find works really well for me is I'll drive at night, and by 6 o'clock in the morning, there's guys and girls that are up getting in their trucks and taking off, starting their day. So I can find parking then. I'm not a big fan of sleeping on the shoulder of like a highway. I have done it. I have stayed on I never stay on off ramps. If I do decide to stay on a ramp, it's going to be on an on ramp. The reason I don't stay on off ramps is people are going really fast, man, up those things, and I'm afraid of getting hit. And plus, I don't like hearing all the sound, all the trucks hitting their brakes, the brakes. Community Transportation says, I wouldn't mind team driving with my wife, but it would make seeing my girlfriends much more difficult. Yeah, I ain't got time for girlfriends, man. I ain't got time for that. I know you're joking, but that's funny. Maybe she'd be down for it. All you gotta do is ask. Insult says, there used to be rest stops every 10 miles everywhere. Yeah, so I've noticed that lately too, man. There's a lot of rest stops that are closed now. And here's the other thing. We have weight scales around the country, right? I wouldn't park at one because, I don't want to get woken up and have to weigh in the morning or whatever. And there are some states that it's a safe haven for us to park at. There's scales when they're not open, you can park there. I have taken quick breaks there, like a 2 or 3 hours split sleeper berth sometimes. If I'm running at night, like, I've only done it twice, and both times it was in I believe Massachusetts, because there was no parking anywhere else. But there's a lot of them that don't allow parking when they're not open. I think that's ridiculous. We should be able to park at Scales if they're not open. And then if we're leaving in the morning, we shouldn't be harassed. In my opinion, we're following the law, you know. But that's just my opinion. Oh, Rangers. Oh, how was that not a penalty? He freaking tackled the guy. Oh, whatever. Yeah, they did start destroying. Too many. TBT USA says too many accidents are happening due to drivers are not driving appropriately. So it's a way of reducing that from happening. Most reasons why they don't want parking on shoulders or ramps. Let me read that again. Too many accidents are happening to drivers not driving appropriately. So it's a way to reduce from happening. Most reasons why they don't want parking on shoulders and ramps. Okay, that kind of makes sense, I guess. But sometimes that's our only spot to park, and we shouldn't be penalized for that, you know. But I guess if we're impeding, you know, I'd hate to say if you're on the shoulder of a road or an on or off ramp, we're not really impeding anybody. And if somebody hits us, you know, well, I guess I kind of get it, but still, that's a political thing, I guess. Our state dollar, state tax money would have to go to building infrastructure. Federal money would have to go to building infrastructure. Yeah, LOL. Wife thought that was funny. No, dang, dude, your wife's listening to me spit nonsense about hockey? Well, hello to TBT USA's wife as well. Great transportation. Several years ago, I told my wife that I happened to die in the arms of my lover, which I figured would be about 30 seconds away from wife. Yeah. Mine said, keep talking. I won't care that long. My wife said, yeah. I could joke with my wife about that probably, but I don't know. My wife picks on me as much as DIY and cash does. So does my daughters, to be honest with you. Oh, you know, I'd like to see Carolina make a game out of this. What a save! The Rangers goalie is standing on his head, man. He's come up with some huge saves tonight. Anyways, I have absolutely nothing to talk about. Just watching hockey. Get back trucking tomorrow. Ooh, what a save that was, too. Get done watching the game, I'll call home, and then I'll go to bed. Been kind of a long day. I woke up early and thought, like, why the hell am I awake? Like, go back to bed. I fell back to sleep and woke up again at like 8:05. Wish I could have slept all day. Be lazy. I tell you what, I don't stay at Love's a lot because, or I don't get food or anything really at Love's, because I get better discounts other places. But I'll tell you what, I kind of like Love's. Um, they have a lot of food selection, like good fruit and stuff like that. Like I like cantaloupe. They always have like cut up cantaloupe, and they have good food. Their showers are clean. Their laundry room, at least at this one, was really clean. I did my laundry today. Oh, here we go. Oh, Rangers just scored. I'm not going to call that a breakaway, but it damn close. Backhand. Had the goalie go to one side of the net, and he came right in front of him, backhand over the goalie's pads. What a goal! So 4-0. What did I say the final score was going to be? 5-0. They're going to score one more goal and then an empty net goal, but they're not going to get an empty net goal. You're down too much to pull your goalie now. If you were down by a goal or two, yeah, you pull your goalie, but you're down by 4. Well, yeah, you're down by 4. What a goal! Well, good. Glad New York's going to win. TBT says we're going to start teaming in August. Oh, good for you. You and your wife? So you both got your CDLs, huh? Good for you guys. That'd be the only way I'd want a team. And to be honest with you, I'd probably do it. I don't know if it'd be like a full team or like a partial driver, like have her drive for a few hours a day and, kind of enjoy our time together. Hockey reaction stream, yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's what Insult said. Yeah, it was good goal, man. Good goal. So that's how much of a dork I am. Sorry, I went silent there for a little bit. When I was young, so I used to be like a super big college hockey fan as well. I loved college hockey. I was a big Golden Gophers fan. And then the Gophers left the WCHA and went to the Big Ten. And it basically killed college hockey for me because we were playing teams that there was no rivalry, there was no history. They weren't very good at the time, like Ohio State, Penn State. Like they all had hockey teams, but they weren't good at all. But anyways, I used to have like hockey practice at night and stuff. And what I would do is if the Gophers used to play every Friday and Saturday night. And what I used to do when I was little was I had a radio that I could record tapes with. And I would record the hockey game. And then when I'd go to bed that night, I'd always fall asleep listening to a hockey game. It was either the Gophers or the North Stars. And I'd fall asleep listening to hockey. Which is kind of a dork thing, but I loved it. And I would write the game on, cassette tapes, how you got the paper in the case. I would write on there what game it was, and I would re-listen to it until I knew what the announcers were saying play by play, and then I would re-record a different game on the same tape. But hockey is something that I absolutely love. My girls mess with me all the time because they never played hockey. And both of them had asked me at the point where like they needed to start playing or they were going to be too far behind skill wise to ever play. And hockey is an expensive sport. And at the time I was a single parent and I said, yeah, if you guys want to play hockey, you can, but you're going to have to quit all your other sports. At that time, they were playing basketball, soccer, softball, and it was like, if you want to play hockey, I'll allow you to play hockey. I just can't afford, because this was before club teams, but they were still playing on traveling teams. So we would travel, and I said, I can't afford hockey, because hockey's a year-round sport. Hockey's a year-round sport. I played hockey year round. If my daughters would have played it, they were going to play it year round. Because now that they've gotten to the ages they're at and really left all their other sports, but focus on the sports that they like, which one's softball and one's soccer, it's a year-round deal. You know what I mean? It's not just one season and you're done. It's all year long. Um, Even in Minnesota, we play soccer and softball indoors, or we travel to states that are warm in the wintertime, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, and you know we do that. Same with soccer. But I remember they both asked me to play, and I told them they could, but they'd have to leave their other sports. And I want to say, just like the last time I was at home, they both started messing with me, like, "Why didn't you ever let us play hockey?" I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! I would have let you play hockey at the time. You guys said you didn't want to quit your other sports, and I know what hockey requires, so you would have had to quit your other sports for me to afford it." But yeah, and I'm glad they didn't play hockey. To be honest, my oldest, very good softball player, and she was a catcher. And I say was because she actually quit. Um, she had made a team and then decided, I don't want to play softball anymore. I want to focus on graduating high school, which she's just like, I'm taking all college courses. I think all of her classes except one is a college class. And I want to work and save money for college. So she just up and quit one day, which for me was a little heartbreaking. And same with her team. Um, but she was a catcher, and she was very physical. She was a very physical catcher. So she had already had a lot of injuries. Her body was sore. And I just asked her a couple of months ago, like a month ago, "Hey, how's your body feeling?" And she laughed. She's like, "It's nice not to be sore." And I kind of started thinking back to when I was her age. I was always hurt. Like I was always sore from hockey. I always had cuts. I always had bruises. I always had some muscle that was, sore. I got slashed in my forearm once so hard. It's hard to see. I have a scar. It's weird. I have a scar that runs right down here on my forearm. A guy slashed me so hard, and like my elbow hurt for. I mean, my elbow still hurts to be honest with you, but it hurt like hell for about 6 months. Where even gripping my hockey stick was painful. Uh, so I understand how she felt. So I'm glad she's feeling better. Her body doesn't feel as beat up as it did. Because she's too young. She's 18 years old. Man. She shouldn't feel beat up at 18. Oh, so Carolina's on the power play now. It looked like it was a holding call. I didn't really see it, but I saw the quick replay, and I think it was called for holding. I don't have the volume turned up because I don't know what. I know the NHL has like rights. So if Carolina wants to get back in this game, they need to score right now on this power play. If they don't score on this power play, there's 12 minutes left in the game. They got a problem. New York's penalty kill is pretty good. Like they're playing the box. Um, so they have two guys low, two guys high. And you just missed an open net. Oh, they scored. Carolina just scored. Top of the hash mark. Perfect scoring line. So 4-1 now, guys. 4-1. 11:50 left in the game. 11:49. Still an uphill battle, but you know what? They can do it. Still a couple of people in here, but I think I'll wrap it up. I'm actually getting tired. Might lay down here. So yeah, thanks for watching this live stream of Hockey Talk. Um, I don't know how much you guys enjoyed it, but I'll probably do it again. And maybe so. There's a couple of people that belong to this group or that sub to me that the community, I guess, that are really big into hockey as well. So maybe I'll set something up where we can have multiple people on here talking about hockey. It's Memorial Day, so I didn't want to bother those guys. But yeah, thank you everybody that came in. If there's only a couple of people in here, hopefully you gave me a thumbs up. Oh, breakaway. Rangers just scored. It is now 5-1. They answered that goal. Wow, that takes the momentum away from Carolina big time. Anyways, hope everybody has a great night. We'll see you guys later, all right? Oh, until next time, you know what it is. Keep on trucking. Later, guys. Thanks, Insult TBT USA.